So I hope that you enjoy. And before we begin, I am offering custom videos, so if you're interested, then please read my description box or my community tab for more information. And if you enjoy this video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe if you're not already. I'd love to have you join my journey. Okay, let's get started. So I've got a book here. It does say the Essential A to Z Handbook for Girls, but not all the facts in here are strictly for girls. There are some things on like fashion and like how to speak to boys, but a lot of it is also just like general facts. So those are the ones that I'm going to be focusing on. Okay, let's open it up. Okay, the first few facts are going to be about animals. Slugs can have up to 27,000 teeth, using them to munch on plants, earthworms, and other slugs as they slide along a trail of slime. Giraffes only sleep for a few minutes at a time. They rarely get more than half an hour's snoozing time a day. The world's largest lizard is the Komodo dragon. It grows up to 2.8 meters, which is the equivalent to 9 feet long. The Komodo dragon can run fast and swim well. It kills its prey with a poisonous bite and returns later to eat it. Komodo dragons have been known to kill people. The largest rodent in the world is the capybara. It lives around marshes and swamps in Central and South America. It is up to 132 centimeters, which is the equivalent to 52 inches, in length, and has slightly webbed feet to help it swim. Okay. At 188 decibels, the whistle of the blue whale is the loudest sound produced by any animal. All pet hamsters are descended from a female wild golden hamster found with a litter of 12 young in Syria in 1930. How many of you have a pet hamster? Let me know in the comments. Okay, this next set of facts is about art and artists. You really need to. They are like the best type of lollipops. Okay, this next lot of facts are about authors. Authors. The world's best-selling author is Agatha Christie, whose crime novels have sold more than 2 billion copies. The largest bookshop in the world is a Barnes and Noble shop in New York. It has 20.7 kilometers, which is equivalent to 12.87 miles, of shelving. And as a bookworm, that is somewhere that would be like absolute heaven to me. All of the proceeds earned from James M. Barrie's book, Peter Pan, were donated to the Great Ormond Street Hospital for Sick Children in London, which I think is a really nice thing to do, personally. Okay. Next is all about Britain, which is where I live. The tallest mountain in Britain is Ben Nevis in Scotland at 1,343 metres, which is the equivalent to 4,406 feet. Big Ben is normally used to refer to the famous clock on the Houses of Parliament in London, but it is actually the name of the bell inside the tower. I don't know if many people know that. In Wales, there are more sheep than people. The population for Wales is around 3 million. However, there are approximately 5 million sheep. 5 million sheep compared to 3 million people in Wales. And yet the price of lamb is very, very expensive. Okay, the next are big screen bloopers. So at the beginning of The Wizard of Oz, while Dorothy is still on the farm, she walks along the Big Ben fence and then falls in. When Zeke, I don't know, I've never watched it. When Zeke picks her up, her dress is perfectly clean. That seems more like a mystery than a blooper, but we'll go with it. In Spider-Man, the 2002 version, look out for the scene where Mary Jane is being mugged by 4 men. Spider-Man throws 2 of them into 2 windows behind her. Then the camera goes back to Spider-Man beating up the other 2 men. When the camera pans back to Mary Jane, the 2 windows are not broken. Again, to me that doesn't seem like a blue pepper. You know, that's fine. Have you noticed that though? In Spider-Man, if you've seen it. I've never seen it, so I wouldn't know. But let me know. Let me know if you've noticed that. Okay. The next set of facts are about the human body. Most people have about 100,000 hairs growing on their head. Hair grows about 15 millimeters, which is half an inch, a month. The sound of a snore, which is up to 69 decibels, can be almost as loud as the noise of a pneumatic drill. And another fact, people with blonde hair have more hairs than people with dark hair. By the time you turn 70, your heart will have beat some 2.5 billion times, on an average of 70 beats per minute. So if you have a faster heart rate, generally speaking, than 70 beats per minute, you will have, by the time you're 70, your heart will have beat over 2.5 billion times. So, yeah. Okay. If you have a lot of allergies, this is beauty tips now, by the way. I don't know if I said that. Beauty tips. If you have a lot of allergies and it's hard to find something gentle, try using grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil as a moisturizer. And if you've got a spot, Jennifer Lopez's advice is apparently to dab soap on the blemish. Dab soap on the blemish, the spot. By morning, your spot will have dried out. Has anyone ever tried that? I tend to use lavender gel for spots, and it doesn't like clear it up like obviously instantaneously, but over a couple of days it does really help. But I've never tried just dabbing soap on it. I mean, I wash my face every day, so you know, I don't know, maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Let me know. And some exfoliators are too harsh for daily use. Some exfoliators are too harsh for daily use. So if you use exfoliators, maybe don't use it every day. Okay, the next set of facts are close encounters. Close encounters. Okay. In November 1975, a group of men working in the mountains of Arizona, USA, saw a bright flash in the sky. One of the men, Travis Walton, went to investigate and was hit by a bolt of energy. He disappeared for 5 days and then claimed he had been abducted by aliens. I mean, if that's true, and I don't believe in aliens, so for me it's not true, but you know, if it is true, if people believe it's true, then that's not a close encounter, is it? Because he's actually been abducted by aliens. So, it's an encounter rather than a close encounter. A flying saucer was reported to have crashed near Roswell, New Mexico, USA, in 1947. The United States military claimed that the craft was a weather balloon, but many people believed that something much spookier had happened. If you live in America, what do you think of that? Do you think that it was just a weather balloon? Or do you think it was a UFO? Mars since the 1970s. In 2004, the NASA probe Opportunity landed on Mars and found evidence that there was once water on the planet, essential if there was ever life as we know it on Mars. That's really interesting, I didn't know that. Searching for signs of life is difficult and expensive. Beagle 2, a spacecraft built for £45 million, was lost early in 2004 and hasn't been heard from since. Which is quite sad, really. Okay, the next category is crazy climate. Crazy climate. Snow is not always white. In some glacial areas, algae can exist within the snow that makes it appear brown, pink, or red. Rainbows can rarely be seen for longer than an hour, but one seen in Yorkshire in March 1994 lasted for 6 hours. 6 hours. It's a long time. The heaviest hailstones fell in Bangladesh in April 1986. They each weighed up to 1 kilogram, which is the equivalent to 2 pounds and 2 ounces, killing and injuring many people. I really hate hailstones because, obviously they're dangerous and they hurt. Luckily we don't get many in the UK. It's a very rare occurrence, but yeah, I really don't like hailstones. Tornadoes form when hot funnels of air rise from the ground to meet a thundercloud. In the most powerful tornadoes, the wind inside the funnel can reach speeds of over 450 kilometers per hour, which is equivalent to 280 miles per hour. Okay, let me know if you want a part 2 to this one. As you can probably tell, it's been written in alphabetical order and we've only got up to D. So let me know if you want a part 2, if that was interesting. Yeah, let me know. But that is all for this video. So I hope that you enjoyed, and I will see you in